when I was told that I was going to be getting this award, torch-bearing, I couldn't really figure out why. I mean, I'm not really sure that I deserve this recognition. I mean, I thought to myself, I haven't led any protests, I haven't led any marches, I mean, I don't even own a bullhorn or anything. I had only been, in my estimation, incredibly selfish. I have only really been doing things that, please me. I've raised a bit of money for various organizations, which is incredibly pleasurable. I have given a human response to various offensive remarks by journalists. Righteousness is always pleasurable. And I accepted to play the amazing part of Bette Porter in the little lesbian show that could, The L Word. I am and always will be deeply indebted to Eileen Chaikin for such a tremendous opportunity to explore my inner alpha. And I have to say that it's always been funny to me that so many fans of the show come up to me and thank me for taking on the role of Bette, as if I've done them a favor, or as if I've taken on some burden of some kind. I mean, what they don't realize is that it is I who have received one of the greatest gifts of my professional career by being able to play this part. I am in no way brave. I am just really selfish. I have learned so much on the outward. I learned about dental dams and Twinkies. I've learned there are more sexual positions on heaven and earth than are dreamt of in any straight girl's philosophy. Every love theme presented itself to me like a Rubik's Cube. I feel as if I could have an honorary degree in engineering and physics. And I bet you know what I'm talking about. But honestly, mostly the show taught me about love, authenticity, and the importance of human agency. When we were shooting the pilot one evening, my husband and I were sitting in a restaurant. He turned and he kissed me. And I realized then, if we were a gay couple, this would have been a very big event for this particular restaurant. And it hurt my heart. It spoke to my otherness. And it awakened in me the knowledge of how much courage it takes to live your life authentically. And this is true for anyone, but it is especially true for anyone who is systematically, culturally, and structurally marginalized. To me, there seems to be a rather pointed attack on authenticity in a country that prides itself on celebrating individuals. There seems to be a systematic attack on selfhood, from the democracy that thrives and grows on sustaining the symbiosis between individual and the group. Right now, the government requires gay servicemen and women to imprison themselves by virtue of their silence. Their silence, their inability to experience themselves and their loved ones authentically is a form of structural violence. The notion being that if you are yourself, somehow the group will suffer, the unit will no longer function, and then the country will be unsafe. This, to me, is a form of emotional violence and could not be farther from the truth. The health of a democracy is directly measured by the health and well-being of the individual citizen. The health of a democracy is directly dependent on hearing the voices of its individual citizens. Silence is destructive. What could mar our safety more than this restrictive policy that requires its citizens' silence? What could mar our safety more than this restrictive policy that quietly attacks its own citizens' very selfhood out of fear. What keeps us truly unsafe as a country on a day-to-day basis is our inability to look inside and experience ourselves as a multitude, as a complexity. And as sure as I'm standing here, things are not always black or white, but sometimes they can be both. After playing vet on the L Word, I experienced these issues in a very personal way. These attacks hurt my heart, and they hurt my sense of womanhood. Homophobia is, after all, a form of misogyny. As one of the recipients of this Torchbearer Award, I would like to think that I'm special in some way. But I know that I am not. We are all torchbearers. We each hold a light inside of us, and it falls to each and every one of us to burn bright, if not for our own sake, then for the sake of one another. The only simple truth is love. When we acknowledge our love for ourselves, for our beloved, for this beautiful and complex world we live in, we realize we cannot dim our light for anyone or any government that would seek to dampen or diminish it. If we were to compromise that love, if we were to compromise our authenticity, we diminish not only ourselves, but we denigrate the very democracy of which we are a part. When we embrace love, we can affect change. Love is the greatest light, the brightest torch, and will always be the greatest instrument of change. Thank you to the Center Orange County for this honor. I accept it on behalf of everyone who has illuminated the path for me, including all of my castmates of the L Word and Miss Rose Trochet. And